Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. So today I'm going to show you a lot of shoulder drills, shoulder prehab, and then a lot for hypertrophy, growing the shoulders, and also building some strength and protecting that shoulder joint, that shoulder girdle. So I like to use a band as a little bit of a warm-up and some prehab. If you don't have one, that's okay. I'll show you some other things as well. But just to start off with, and you could be standing, seated, what have you. I'm just going to show you kneeling for the camera angle. So I'm going to take a band. This one's about a ½ inch wide, just a mini band. And if it's too much weight for you, you can always just hold one, hold both. I'm going to come up, so overhand grip, and go about level with the eyes. And we're not just going to pull straight to us. We're going to try and keep the elbows locked and pull almost like a 45-degree angle towards the upper chest. So touching here, squeezing, holding the shoulder blades, and coming back. Trying not to let our back arch and our ribs flare up. Using the shoulder blades, the rear delts. We're going for 15 here. And then we take the band, underhand grip, so palms are up this time. We're going to come about level with our sternum, bottom of our chest, and you'll probably have to grip out a little bit wider to make it a little easier for these. So we're here. Another 15 here. And once again, this one's less than 45. It's really just keeping that parallel angle. And last one of these, we're going to call shoulder dislocates. So we can grab this really wide out here, try to keep the arms straight, and we're going to raise it up over the head. Just be careful here. Tighten the chest. If we're rounded here, it's going to be pretty difficult. So just go as far as you can without bending the elbows. And then stretching a bicep, stretching a pec. As you get more comfortable, you can walk that grip in some. And the good thing about the band is, you get to a point where it's a little hard, there's some stretch. So it really accommodates where your mobility is at. 10 here. And just that by itself is a really good prehab warm-up, or at the end of a training session, get a little bit more volume. Here's a movement we can all do. Honestly, soup cans, these are 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds, small dumbbells, whatever you might have. So it's 3 movements combined. I've heard it called the shoulder shocker before by different sports teams, but we're just going to grab it however's comfortable. If it's plates like this, I like to loop some fingers through here, dumbbells, what have you. But here, we're going to go, first movement's a shrug, shrugging up, then it's external rotation. So we're bringing this way. So external rotation right here. So we're trying to get our thumbs back this way, and then once we're here, we're doing a half press up, back down, come forward, and then the only part to look out for is the internal rotation when we're coming down. So shrug, external, half press, we come back. This might give some of you some difficulty, so I recommend it. Shrug up, external, half press, and just come down a little less strictly, as long as there's no pain there. So it's shrug, external rotation, half press, so we're not locking out, back and down. Shrug hard, external rotation, half up, and we're going for 15 here. This one's 5 for me. Remember, shrug hard, external, half press. Even just with these 2.5 pounds, and only about 10 reps deep, already starting to feel this. So there's lots of small muscles, the rotator cuff, everything else to get nice and flush with blood. Hitting various heads of the deltoids, showing up, so hit our traps as well, trapezius. So here, external rotation. And this just by itself will do a lot to protect and help rebalance those shoulders out, because so many of us are rounded forward so badly already. So if this was just that would be my prehab, some of the prehab anyway, and then I would move into whatever main lifts I was going to do that day, whether it was a horizontal press, a bench press, dumbbell press, For this, just to hit the shoulders a little more specifically, we're gonna go, I'll show you some dumbbell press variations, some dumbbell rows. So, once again, I recommend doing these standing. Seated is okay too. It's a little more treacherous with the spine, but I recommend doing these standing. But I'll show you here, just for camera angle. So we're gonna do a parallel grip. So palms are gonna face one another, and we're gonna lead with the elbows. So we want this form to be stacked underneath the load. Press up and then back. We don't want to be here where the weight just wants to drop in front of us. We want to have it stacked. And press straight up. You can see it's right sort of cutting the midline of my body. So at the top, we can really hang out here for a while. There's gravity and that load are just pressing straight down. We have that good structural integrity. Everything's solid here. Now some people will shrug up, and other people, it all depends on how your shoulder joint itself articulates and how it's formed. Everyone's a little bit different. So for me, to shrug at the top puts it in a little bit of a treacherous position. So I like to think, keep that lat engaged. I'm just gonna do a lat pull down. So I press up, so I'm here, I'm locked out, but I'm not here. So either way, you can feel more of a contraction when you're here, but the joint can be a little bit more susceptible to injury. So, go into position here. I'll go low so you can see me lock out. And we come up, locking out. Head is through a little bit. Coming back down. Just going for 8 here. Parallel grips, palms are facing. I'm going to go straight from there into a bent over row. So you can do this with a hand on a bench or something sturdy, or even a hand and a knee, so that 3-point position, or even bent forward, holding onto something here if the lower back is any issue at all for you. But for this, I'll show you just bent over. So we're gonna bend the knees slightly, hips are gonna go back, my back's gonna remain flat or even arch slightly. Core's engaged hard. And then rolling in, hold for a second, come back down, hold, back down. And all we're thinking about doing is pinching the shoulder blades together. We're not leading with the elbow and tipping our shoulder forward like this. We're just squeeze shoulder blade back together, and as soon as that shoulder blade stops moving, the weight stops moving. I'll keep it safe, and we're still getting that full range that we're looking for. Go for 10. When we come back, I'll show you standing. I'll back up some. Parallel grip. Coming up, lock out. From the side. Here, not here. Quads are tight. Glutes are locked. Core's engaged. We're not arching at the lower back. And again. Come back. This. And over. So knees are bent. Core's engaged. Hips back. Weights here. We don't need to round forward. Keep everything tight and neutral. Of course, these can be swapped out for anything heavier if you just want to use this. The movements I'm about to show as a shoulder like finisher, and that is some prehab. So these can all be swapped out. Just giving you some ideas. So this next one, I'm going to take light dumbbells, or I'll show you with some plates here in a second. So all we're going to do for the next one, we're going to have 3 separate movements to really target each head of the deltoid. So we're going to go the lateral head, this cap delt portion. So we're going to do 1.5 reps on this one. So this will be fairly challenging. Now, if we just bring our arm up, we can feel that. We can feel our trapezius, our trap, be activated, as well as the deltoid. That's fine. I normally do that. But for this, we're going to think, here's a shrug, anti-shrug. So we're here, our shoulders deep in the socket here, and then we're gonna come up. And you'll notice if you're anti-shrugging, keep that shoulder in its joint, the trap stays very loose. So all the focus gets shifted to that deltoid, that lateral head of the deltoid. So anti-shrug, we come up. Don't think about coming up as much as we're thinking. Press the weights away. That's pressing the walls away. And that'll keep us from coming too high up and possibly impinging that shoulder. So anti-shrug, we come all the way up, hold, all the way back down. Halfway up, hold, back down. So we're going for 10. That's 1 rep there. So it can be fairly challenging by the end. So if you have several different weights, feel free to swap them out. You might have a set of 10s, 7 halves, 5s, what have you. Here we go. So these 10s are gonna be a little harder just because there's no handle. But here we go. We come up, hold, back down. Anti-shrug, half, down. Up, down. Half, down. Up, down. Half, down. Up, down. Half, down. Anti-shrugging the whole time. Up, down. Half, down. Up, down. Half, down. Up, down. Half, down. 1 more here. Up and hold, and down. Half, down. And then for the next one, I'll show you with this weight plate here. So there's just a front raise. So you're trying to hit anterior deltoid, the front of the shoulder. So we're here, moving even, and just coming up, a little above parallel, and then back down slowly under control. You can think of squeezing the plate to dust. We're trying to touch our hands together. That'll hit, if we do that, that hits the pec minor, upper chest a little bit more. So I actually think about pulling it apart. Like I'm trying to pull it apart this way, and it isolates the shoulder more. But once again, coming up, a little above eye line, back down. Sorry about that. And for our last movement here, we're going to go rear delt fly. So once again, we're getting that same bent knee, quads engaged, back's flat, and we're coming up and squeezing those shoulder blades. These can be dumbbells, small kettlebells. This can be bands that you're stepping on. Go for 15 here if we can. We're going to go through each of those one more time here. So of course we can go through these many more times, 3, 4, 5 plus times through this circuit here. But I'll show you 2 times on this one. So anti-shrug, we're going for our lateral raises, 1.5 reps. Anti-shrug, out and back, half and back. Anti-shrug, full, half, full, half, away, half. 6, 7, gotta regrip these. 8, 9, last one, hold, and down, half and down. And we're going to our front raise. So of course these can be dumbbells as well, even pushed together or separate, one at a time. I'm just showing you with the weight plate. So once again, you can squeeze it if you're trying to touch your palms together, or act like you're trying to rip it apart. For these, that's just ripping apart. If you're trying to hit that front delt or the anterior delt a little bit more. So here, go past eye line, back down. Nice, smooth hold, under control. 10 on those. Of course, you can go more reps, less reps. I like 10 on those because they're already getting worked a little bit by the other movements that we've already done. I'm going to come here, and then rear delt fly. Bend the knees, push hips back, cores engaged, back's nice and flat. Go for 10 here. And then, the last one, we're going back to our shoulder shockers. So it's that 3 movements. Shrug, external rotation, half press. Only this time we're going for additional reps. So once again, I have little 2.5 pounders. You can go a little heavier or even a little lighter, soup cans, what have you. So shrug hard, external rotation, half press, coming back down. We're going for 20. Shrug, external, half press, down. Shrug, external, half press, back down. Shrug, external, half press, back down. Here's 5. Shrug, external, half press, back down. Here we go. Let me take a break, reduce the weight. That's fine. Shrug hard. Rotation. And then we're halfway. There's 10. Almost there. Last couple. Last one, shrug, external, and coming up. And with this, you can take any one or multiple movements here. Use the band work, use the shoulder shockers. And if you want to hit one head a little bit more, one head of the shoulder a little bit more, you can incorporate one or a couple of movements. We've had even the rep ranges, the 1.5 rep range can be used on really any of these, or any even compound movement. If you want to think about the compound movements, the parallel grip as an example, you can take any portion of these or any individual facet from this class and kind of incorporate into what you're already doing. So thank you for joining me. Once again, my name is Dennis. I'll talk to you soon.